Have you ever been reading something in English or, listening to someone talk and you think you've got it, but then a simple verb like get or put pops up, used in a way that just completely throws you? It feels a bit like a secret code sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It really does. And, well, if your English sometimes feels a little too formal, maybe like it's straight out of a textbook, or if you find it hard to sound, truly natural when you speak, then phrasal verbs are probably what you're bumping up against. Today, we're diving deep into this really fascinating world.
Exactly. And this deep dive is designed specifically to help you navigate what's, let's be honest, one of the trickiest parts of English, but also one of the most rewarding, I think. Because phrasal verbs are just everywhere. In movies, TV shows, work emails, everyday chats, getting the hang of them is such a huge step, moving from intermediate to really confident, fluent speaking.
hmm Our mission today, really, is to unpack these little linguistic puzzles. We'll look at what they actually are, why they can be so confusing, and then, this is the important bit, give you a clear path, a way to understand them, and crucially, to start using them yourself. We'll check out their structure, break down some key examples you'll definitely hear, and share some powerful strategies to get them into your active vocabulary.
Okay, let's start cracking that secret code then. So at its heart, what is a phrasal verb? It's basically a team effort, right? A verb joining up with a preposition or an adverb.
Yeah, or sometimes both, actually. A verb plus a small word, basically. But the fascinating thing, and this is where the confusion often comes in, is that this little team creates a whole new meaning. Often one that's, well, completely different from the original verb on its own. Think about a classic like get up. Get might mean receive, and up means towards the sky.
Right, but get up doesn't mean receiving something way up high. It means getting out of bed, usually. Or maybe standing up from a chair. That's the idiomatic part, isn't it? It's quirky.
It is. You can't always guess the meaning just by looking at the parts. You really have to learn them as whole units, as chunks of vocabulary. They're almost like shortcuts in the language.
That's a good way to put it. Shortcuts. Efficient.
Exactly. They allow us to say quite complex things very concisely. Often, one phrasal verb replaces a much longer, maybe more formal phrase. It makes the language flow better.
Okay, so before we jump into loads of examples, maybe we should cover a couple of technical distinctions. Nothing too scary, but understanding them can really help clear things up.
Good idea. Yeah, these terms might sound a bit grammar heavy, but the concepts are actually quite simple and super useful. First up, transitive versus intransitive.
Right.
So transitive verbs need a target, an object, something or someone the action is done to. Like if I say, you need to fill out the form is the target, the object, you're filling it out. You can't just fill out in general, you have to fill out something.
Okay, that makes sense. The action transfers to something.
Precisely.
Mhm.
But then you have intransitive verbs. These ones don't need an object. The action is complete by itself. So I woke up at 7 a.m. There's no object there receiving the action of waking up. You just woke up.
Got it. Transitive needs an object, intransitive doesn't. Okay, what's the other distinction?
The other pair is separable versus inseparable. This is about where you can put the object, if there is one, so mainly for transitive verbs.
Okay.
Some phrasal verbs are separable, meaning they're flexible. You can put the object between the verb and the particle, like please turn off the light. You can separate turn and off and say please turn the light off. Both work.
Ah, right. You can split them up.
Exactly. But, and this is a really key point for learners, if that object is a pronoun, like it, them, me, her, it must go in the middle. You have to say, please turn it off. You can't say, please turn off it. That sounds quite wrong to a native speaker.
Okay, that's a definite rule to remember. Pronoun in the middle for separable verbs. Got it.
Then you have inseparable verbs. These guys stick together like glue. The verb and the particle cannot be split. The object, if there is one, always comes after the particle. For example, I am looking for my keys. You can't say, I'm looking my keys for. Look and for stay together.
Right. Inseparable means they can't be separated. Seems logical. Okay, so don't worry, everyone. As we go through examples, we'll point out if they're transitive or intransitive, separable or inseparable. We'll try and make it stick. Shall we dive into some common ones?
Let's do it. A great place to start is get up. We already mentioned it. Primary meaning, rise from bed. I have to get up early tomorrow. Intransitive.
And like we said, it's different from wake up, right? Waking up is just becoming conscious. Getting up is the actual physical act of leaving the bed. You can wake up, lie there checking your phone for half an hour, and then get up.
Exactly. You can also use get up for rising from a chair or the floor, too. Still intransitive. Next, a pair you use constantly. Turn on and turn off. Essential for lights, computers, TVs, taps.
Pretty fundamental for modern life, and these are transitive and separable.
They are. So turn on the radio or turn the radio on. And turn off your computer or turn your computer off. But if you're talking about
Turn it on or turn it off. Pronoun in the middle. Okay, drilling that in.
Perfect. Now, how about getting dressed? Put on. This means placing clothes or maybe glasses or makeup onto your body. It's raining, you should put on your raincoat. It's transitive and separable.
And it's the action, right? Like, I put on my coat before I leave. But once I'm outside, I am wearing my coat. Where is the state?
That's a great distinction. Put on is the action, wear is the state. And the opposite action is take off, meaning 1, remove clothing. It's hot in here, I'm going to take off my sweater. Also transitive and separable. Take your shoes off or take off your shoes.
Okay, straightforward opposite. But take off has other meanings too, doesn't it? This is where it gets interesting.
It really does. Meaning number 2. An airplane leaving the ground, the plane took off on time. This usage is intransitive. The plane just takes off.
You hear that all the time at airports. And it can be used metaphorically too, for like a career.
Yes. If someone's career suddenly becomes very successful, you can say, her singing career really took off after that TV show. Also intransitive, it suggests a rapid rise.
Cool. Okay, let's look at the look family. How adding different little words changes everything. First, look for. That means search, right?
Exactly. To search for something missing. I'm looking for my phone. Have you seen it? This one is transitive. You look for something, but it's inseparable. You can't say, I'm looking my phone for.
Okay, inseparable. Then, look after.
That means to take care of someone or something, like a child, a pet, or even a task. It implies responsibility. My neighbor looks after my plants when I travel. Also transitive and inseparable.
Right. And then there are two opposites. Look up to someone.
Means you admire and respect them, maybe see them as a role model. Kids often look up to athletes or musicians. Transitive and inseparable again.
And the opposite. Look down on. That sounds negative.
It is. It means you think you're better than someone else, maybe because of their job or money or background. It implies arrogance. He tends to look down on anyone who didn't go to university. Also transitive and inseparable.
You can really feel the different attitudes in those last two just from the particle. Up versus down. Okay, shifting to communication. Bring up. That sounds useful.
Very useful, and 2 main meanings. First, to mention a topic or introduce it into a conversation. Often used if the topic is a bit sensitive or maybe wasn't being discussed. Please don't bring up politics at dinner. This one is transitive and separable. Don't bring politics up.
Okay, introduce a topic. What's the second meaning?
To raise a child. The whole process of caring for them, educating them, helping them grow. She was brought up by her aunt. Also transitive and separable. Her aunt brought her up.
Got it. 2 quite different meanings there. How about give up?
Ugh, a classic. It means to stop trying, to quit something. Could be a challenge, a habit, a goal. It can be intransitive. The race was hard, but she didn't give up. Or it can be transitive, usually meaning quit a habit, like I need to give up drinking so much coffee. When it's transitive like this, it's inseparable. You give up something.
Right. Never give up. Very common advice. Now, you mentioned a pair that often confuses learners. Find out and figure out.
Yes, these are important to distinguish. Find out is about discovering external information, something you didn't know and now you do, like an aha moment. Can you find out what time the shop closes? You're seeking a piece of factual information. It's transitive and separable. Can you find it out?
Okay, discovering external facts. So figure out is different how?
Figure out is more about the internal mental process. It's about understanding something complex or solving a problem through thinking. It took me ages to figure out how this machine works. Or, I can't figure out the answer to this puzzle. It emphasizes the effort of thinking and understanding. Also transitive and separable. I need to figure it out.
That's a really helpful distinction. Find out. Discover. Figure out. Solve or understand through thought. Okay. What about delaying things? We all do that.
Procrastination. That would be put off. It means to postpone something. I keep putting off making that phone call. Or let's put the meeting off until next week. Transitive and separable.
Guilty as charged. And another very common situation, when you use everything up.
Run out of means you have no more of something left. We've run out of bread. I need to go to the bakery. Or I'm worried we'll run out of petrol.
Yeah.
Transitive and inseparable. A daily occurrence for many of us.
Definitely. Okay, a more relaxed one. Just chilling with friends.
That's hang out. Very informal, very common, means spending time together relaxing, not doing anything specific. We usually just hang out and watch movies on Fridays. It's intransitive.
Supernatural sounding. Okay, how about workout? That sounds like exercise.
It often is, meaning one is to exercise, usually meaning physical exercise, maybe at a gym. She works out every morning before breakfast. That's intransitive.
But it has another meaning too, right? Not about the gym.
Yes, meaning two is for a situation or plan to have a positive result, or for a solution to be found. I hope things work out for you with the new job, or don't worry, I'm sure it will all work out. This is also intransitive. It implies resolution or success.
So work out at the gym or things work out okay. Got it. Now, sometimes things don't work out. What about when things go wrong?
While a common one is breakdown, first meaning is for machinery, especially vehicles, to stop working. Our car broke down on the motorway. Intransitive.
Oh dear, that's never fun. Any other meaning for breakdown?
Yes, a more emotional one. It can mean to lose control of your emotions and start crying. He broke down when he heard the news about his friend, also intransitive.
Okay, so a car can break down and a person can break down. Two distinct meanings. How about catching up? Like if you've fallen behind.
Exactly, catch up with. Meaning, one is to reach the same level or position as someone else who's ahead of you, maybe in studies, work, or even a literal race. I missed a week of class, so I have a lot of work to catch up on. Or, go ahead, I'll catch up with you later. Intransitive.
Makes sense. And the other meaning is more social, right?
Yes, meaning two is about updating each other on your news and lives, especially after not seeing someone for a while. Let's get coffee soon and properly catch up. Also intransitive.
A very common social phrase.
Eh.
Okay, another useful one involving transport. Drop off.
Means to take someone or something to a place, usually by car, and leave them there. Could you drop me off at the station? Or, I need to drop off this parcel at the post office. Transitive and separable. Could you drop it off?
Useful for lifts and forms. Completing forms. There are a couple for that.
Yes, fill out and fill in. They both mean to complete a document with information. Please fill out this application form, or you need to fill in your details here. Fill out is maybe slightly more common in American English, fill in British English, but both are widely understood. They're transitive and separable. Did you fill it in?
Okay, good to know both. How about just arriving somewhere?
Show up. It means to arrive or appear, often used when the arrival was expected, or maybe slightly surprising or late. I invited him, but I wasn't sure if he would show up. Or he finally showed up an hour late. Intransitive.
Right, it implies arrival, maybe with a little bit of expectation or lack thereof. And set up, that sounds like organizing things.
It often is, meaning one, to arrange, organize, or establish something. Like, we need to set up a meeting, or she wants to set up her own business. Transitive and separable. Let's set it up.
Okay, arrange or establish. Another meaning.
Yes, it can also mean to assemble or erect something physical, like they set up the stage for the concert, or it takes time to set up a tent. Also transitive and separable.
Got it. Assemble. Now, in our tech world, backup must be important.
Absolutely crucial. Meaning one, to make a copy of computer data for safety. Don't forget to back up your files regularly. Transitive and separable, you should back them up.
Essential advice. Does it have another meaning?
Yes, it also means to support someone, either by helping them or by confirming their story or opinion. Thanks for backing me up in that argument. Or, if questioned, will you back up my version of events? Also, transitive and separable.
Okay. Support or confirm.
Yeah.
And a related one, maybe for work emails. Follow up.
Very important in professional contexts. It means to take further action related to something that happened earlier, like sending an email after a meeting or making a call after sending a proposal. I'll follow up with an email tomorrow. It can be intransitive, I need to follow up, or transitive, I need to follow up that call, often used as a noun too. Send a follow-up email.
Right, taking the next step. Okay, almost there. End up. What's that about?
End up describes arriving somewhere or finding yourself in a situation unexpectedly, often as a consequence of previous actions, but usually unplanned. We took a wrong turn and ended up miles from the beach, or he studied law but ended up becoming a chef. It's intransitive.
So an unplanned final result or location.
Okay.
And finally, grow up.
Pretty straightforward. To develop from being a child to being an adult. Where did you grow up? Or, my kids are growing up so fast. Intransitive.
And you can also tell someone to grow up.
Right.
If they're being childish.
Yes. As a command, oh, grow up. It means stop acting like a child. Still intransitive.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was quite a list. We've covered a lot of ground there looking at meanings, types, examples. But like you said earlier, just hearing them isn't enough, is it? We need to actually use them.
Exactly. Listening to this deep dive is a fantastic start, but it's the active practice that really makes the difference. Which brings us to some powerful strategies for actually mastering these things.
Okay, let's hear them. How can our listeners really get these into their active vocabulary?
Right, strategy 1. Group by theme, not by verb. Instead of trying to learn all the meanings of get or put at once, which can be overwhelming, think about a topic you talk about often. Say work. Then learn phrasal verbs related to work.
Okay. So for work, you might learn follow up on an email, set up a meeting, maybe call off a meeting if it's canceled, work out a problem, bring up an issue. That makes sense. Learning them in the context, you'll actually use them.
Precisely. It helps your brain link the phrase to the situation. Much more effective than just memorizing lists. Strategy 2, create a story. Take maybe 3 or 4 verbs you've just learned or want to practice and challenge yourself. Write a little paragraph, a short story, maybe just a couple of sentences that uses them naturally.
Okay, like the example earlier, using get up, run out of, find out, end up.
I had to get up early, went for coffee, but we'd run out of milk. Had to find out if the shop was open. It wasn't, so I ended up with tea. That really makes them stick together in a logical way.
It does. It connects them. Strategy 3, make separable physical. Especially for those verbs where the object can go in the middle, try using flashcards. Write the verb on one, the particle on another. Write an object, say the music, on a third card. Then physically put the music card between turn and down. Turn the music down. That's a great visual. And reinforces that pronoun rule too. You'd put the it card in the middle, turn it down.
Exactly. It makes the structure tangible. Strategy 4, listen like a detective. When you're watching movies, listening to songs, or podcasts in English, have a specific mission. Listen for phrasal verbs. Don't worry about understanding everything else. Just tune your ear to catch these verb-particle combinations. When you hear one, maybe pause, write it down. Notice how it was used. This active noticing is really powerful for training your brain.
Like tuning into a specific frequency.
I like that.
Okay, what's the final strategy?
This one, I think, is the most important, the absolute key. Personalize, personalize, personalize. For every phrasal verb you want to learn, don't just memorize the example sentence. Create your own sentence. Make it true for you, about your life, your job, your family, your opinions, your experiences.
Right, so instead of the generic, she looks after the children, make it personal. I often look after my neighbor's dog. Or for give up, maybe. I really should give up checking my phone so late at night.
Yes, that connection to your own reality, your own memories and feelings, it makes the phrase thousands of times more memorable. It stops being just an abstract bit of grammar and becomes part of your way of expressing yourself in English.
That makes so much sense. It anchors it in your own world.
So wrapping this all up, what's the big picture for you, the listener? Phrasal verbs can seem like this huge mountain, right? There are literally thousands of them. It can feel a bit intimidating.
Yeah, definitely daunting at first.
But the good news is you absolutely do not need to know all of them, or even most of them, to be fluent. By really getting comfortable with a core group like the ones we've discussed today, you're equipping yourself for, honestly, the vast majority of everyday conversations and situations.
This is about focusing on the high-frequency ones first.
Exactly. And try to shift your perspective. Don't see them as just a tricky grammar point to memorize. Think of them as colorful, expressive shortcuts. They're tools that make your English sound more natural, more fluid, more like a native speaker.
They add that flavor, don't they? Like we said, the difference between I will collect you from the airport, which is fine, grammatically perfect name, and the much more calm and natural sounding I'll pick you up from the airport. That's the kind of fluency boost we're talking about.
That's it, precisely. So our final message is really a call to action. Embrace these phrasal verbs. Don't be scared of them. Practice them using these strategies. And crucially, start using them. Don't worry about making mistakes initially. Everyone does. It's absolutely part of the process.
Yeah, better to try and make a mistake than to always stick to the safe but maybe less natural vocabulary. Okay, so here's a final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. Every single time you choose to use a phrasal verb correctly, maybe you say figure out instead of just understand or solve, or you suggest you and a friend should catch up instead of saying discuss our news. Each time you do that, you're taking another really significant step. You're not just applying a rule. You're weaving yourself into the real fabric of everyday English. You're mastering that rich, sometimes complex, but ultimately incredibly rewarding tapestry of the language. That's your pathway, your passport to genuine fluency.